Alright guys, I finally bring to you my review for House of the Dead 2 and 3 Return for the Wii. It sure was nice of Sega to bring these two classic titles to the Wii, but was it really worth the disc space? Here's my review. This collection contains both House of the Dead 2 from the Dreamcast and House of the Dead 3 from the Xbox. Both of these titles seem to be exact ports from their original console counterparts, which isn't a bad thing, but I would rather have Sega release these individually on the WiiWare channel, if they weren't even going to upgrade them in some way. Since this collection contains two games, I'm going to review them separately and give them an overall score. I will first start with House of the Dead 2.
Story.
Now I gotta be honest, there isn't much of a story in this game. It's hard to tell because the dialogue hardly makes any sense. According to the manual, a violent rioting has been reported in a small town and it's up to the agents Gary and James to stop it. The strange events that occurred are related to the 1998 Korean incident. For those of you who aren't familiar with that, it's basically just the events that occurred in House of the Dead 1. These occurrences have been traced to a man named Goldman. Is Goldman somehow linked to the Korean incident? Who knows, the manual only tells that much.
Gameplay.
Now moving on to the gameplay. You know what, I think this is the only real saving grace of this game. There's nothing better than the satisfaction you get from shooting undead beings while watching their limbs fly everywhere. This game is on rails and it ends pretty soon, but what else do you expect from an arcade title? There are a total of 6 chapters to play through. The first 4 end in a different boss, the 5th chapter pits you against the first 3 bosses once more, and then finishes off with a familiar boss. Then finally, the 6th chapter pits you against the final boss at the end of the level. All while blasting away at mutant zombies and creatures. You can gain points or lives by shooting certain items through each level. Speaking of which, there will be moments where you have to save an innocent civilian. If you succeed in rescuing said civilian, you may gain a bonus life. If you fail to do so, you won't get penalized unless you shoot the civilian, but it could result in you taking a different path. So that's pretty much it. Just good old arcade fun for those of you who are into that sort of thing.
Graphics.
The graphics in this game aren't very appealing at the least, but that's expected from a game that came out around the year 2000. If you're willing to accept the fact that this is a direct port from a Dreamcast game, then I'm sure you'll have no reason to gripe about the graphics. There is one thing I just have to point out though. Is this phone supposed to be on the ground? I mean, you would think since Amy gets cut out in the clip before it, but according to these graphics, it looks like it's floating. I don't know, maybe I'm just nitpicking. The bottom line is, this is an old game. If you want to accept it, go ahead. If not, oh well.
Sound.
Alright, let's talk about the sound. Just about every sound effect in this game is pretty generic, which I'm willing to accept. These sound clips seem like they just came out of some no-charge royalty-free site, but then again, it doesn't really matter, at least they fit in well. What doesn't fit well is the voice acting. I'm sure most of you know what I'm talking about, but in case you don't, House of the Dead 2 was notorious for its terrible voice acting. Don't believe me? Just listen for yourself.
Are you alright, James?
Yeah, I'm hanging on.
Yes, this is Abe. Yes. It seems that Goldman left a message for us.
What? From Goldman?
Well, he says that he'll be waiting at the Coliseum on the north side of the city.
The Coliseum? It might be a trap. But let's go on.
It's like they're inviting me in.
Yeah, it's quite embarrassing actually. I read somewhere that the voice acting in this game was done with a text-to-speech synthesizer. With lame voice acting like this, I'm willing to believe the statement. Why the hell Sega did this is beyond me, but I know for a fact that if you want to put voice acting in a serious game, you would not use a text-to-speech tool. Just imagine if I worked for a company like, I don't know, Rare, and I decided I was so cheap to use voice actors. And I thought the only way was to, I don't know, use a text-to-speech program instead.
Open the wings. Shut your G diffuser system. Velcro here. I'm fine. This is Peppy. All systems go. Slicky here. I'm okay. I see him up ahead. Let's rock and roll.
Okay, maybe I'm exaggerating too much, but you get my point. The music in this game is pretty decent. It's not like it's super great, but it's classic. Actually, I do have to make one exception. The Magician's theme. This is probably one of the best pieces in the whole game, in my opinion. Okay, that pretty much covers it for House of the Dead 2. Now moving on to House of the Dead 3. Story. According to the manual, Lisa and G have been dispatched to a research lab to investigate the situation that occurred 2 weeks prior, which is explained in the very first level. The characters discover apocalyptic conditions, which later on lead to a series of twists and turns for the series. It's pretty brief, but again, what do you expect from an arcade shooter? Gameplay. The gameplay hasn't changed much when comparing to House of the Dead 2. You're still on rails blasting zombies and creatures. There are a few differences though. For one thing, you have a shotgun instead of a pistol this time around. It destroys a lot more and does more damage to the creatures, but the reload time is slower. There are 5 chapters, each ending with a different boss. Unlike House of the Dead 2, you don't have to rebattle the bosses you already defeated in the game. There will be moments where you have to rescue your colleague from the zombie attack, but there's no penalty for not rescuing him. After all, he ends up rescuing himself eventually. But you also miss out on a bonus life. Like in House of the Dead 2, there are certain items you can shoot throughout the game that give you bonus points or extra lives. And that's about all for the gameplay. Graphics. The graphics aren't super top-notch, but they are a major improvement from House of the Dead 2. Probably because this one was released on Xbox. The textures look pretty fair, and the character models are decent, except for the bland facial expressions. The zombies and creatures look pretty good, but they can get repetitive. I'm sure whoever plays this won't mind it if they focus primarily on the gameplay. Sound. The music isn't so great, but it's fitted well into the game. This is probably just another aspect that's overlooked since the player usually is focused on the gameplay. The sound effects are okay too, still a bit generic sounding, but like the music, it still fits into the game. As I said before, the voice acting is a great improvement from House of the Dead 2. There are still some lines that are flat out cheesy and lame, like these for example.
What's that smell? Oh man! When a lady says no, she means it.
But everything works out in the end after all. Well, that should wrap up this review for House of the Dead 2 and 3 for the Wii. In my opinion, it's a nice, fun, classic arcade collection. It's fun to play with another friend when there's not much else to do at the moment as well. Fans of the series should find this to be a great package for the Wii, priced at only $30, or less if you're an online budget buyer. The only gripes I have with this collection are that they haven't updated it with better graphics, sounds, and voice acting. I would have rather Nintendo individually sell these for 1,000 Wii points on the WiiWare, but hey, that's just me. If you're into on-rail arcade shooters and you want to have some classic arcade fun in your own home, I would recommend this. If you don't like this series or games like it in general, then obviously it's not going to be right for you. Its overall quality is decent for its price. I'd say it's a buy for House of the Dead fans, maybe a weekend rental for common gamers, but definitely a forget it for the following categories. My final score for House of the Dead 2 and 3 Return for the Wii is a 7.0 out of 10. I thank you subscribers and viewers for watching this review. I hope you find it to be helpful in some way, and until next time, keep gaming.